you ever notice that people are just pretending? Just pretending. Going through life pretending. Pretending to be the janitor. Pretending to be the kid in school. Pretending to be the teacher. Everyone's playing a role. And the funny thing is, we're not really trying to act, but we all are pretending. Go to the school and you got to talk to the principal because your kid was acting up. The principal has to act like the principal. The parent has to act like the parent. We're all acting. It's all pretend. We're not trying to act. We're not trying to put on an act like a movie, but we're all pretending. And I've noticed that since we're all trying to fulfill the shoes of each role, that there's got to be a culprit for this. There's got to be a reason why we are all trying to play these roles. And I've come up with a few ideas of why people pretend to be this person. Be the lawyer, so then they have to start talking like a lawyer. When they become a doctor, they got to start talking like a doctor and acting like a doctor. Now, there isn't a one way of being a doctor or being a lawyer or whatever, right? Being a truck driver, obviously. Look at me. But there is mannerisms in different types of ideologies of what you should be when you are fulfilling the shoes of this role. You just try to make it your own. So, but most of the time, most of it is pretend. It is quite pretend. I apologize, I'm not sure how this camera's gonna go in terms of quality while the sun's going down, because the sun's been down for a while now. So it's gonna get dark, and I'm just, I guess, checking to see if it actually can show me, or if I need a light. Anyways, people are pretending, and my idea of why people do stems from the past. A lot has to do with it now, but there's ways of programming it now. But in the past, I'm talking about when we're in tribes and shit like that, like a while ago, thousands of years ago kind of thing. Now, when we were in tribes, there were jobs that you had to do. Now, these didn't require pay or anything like that, but we're stemming from like early civilization. And if you even look at monkeys, right? They have a hierarchy. They have people that run shit, people that collect food or are able to use tools. Just throwing this out there, they claim, the scientists claim that monkeys and chimps nowadays are very, very similar. Like, they're in their own Stone Age right now. They're in the Stone Age. They're able to use tools. They're able to do things, communicate. If one group of chimps wanted to go fuck up another group of chimps, they strategically move in and do it. It's all strategy, and they use tools, and it's war. It's similar to us in the Stone Age. Now think of us in the Stone Age. We were quite similar to those damn chimps. And if you want to go up to civilization, where we started becoming more civilized, we had one group that would be hunters, one group that would gather berries, one group that would nurse, one group that would be this, that, and the third, right? Even in pre-modern America, where it was just like the Indians mostly. Don't get me into why I said it like that, but because most people think that it was just Indians. But anyways, I'm not going to dive into that. I've already talked a little bit about that in the past. But Indians, like the Native Americans that were around, we know that they had similar traits to that of the Africans. Like the African tribes, they would have shaman, they would have people like the men that would go out and hunt, women that would collect berries, women that would nurse, right? So there's common jobs, and even if money's not required, right? And you would have to play that role. So your father was a hunter. You're your father's son. You're going to be a hunter. You got to fulfill that role. So you got to pretend to be that. So you get good at it. And then you can do well. Now, modern America, people are pretending, but it's not really for survival like it was in the past, where we were able to minimize the need for survival because it was easier when we had a nice little system where we had people who became these things, fulfilled a role. Now, doctors, right? I know more than you, or a police officer. You know, I gotta talk in a stern voice and make my tonality a certain way because I'm a police officer now. But you're pretending, right? I know motherfuckers in high school, right? You didn't talk like that in high school, but now you're a fucking deputy and you're fucking... Now my tonality's gotta be like this. I gotta address you as sir. Military. They all gotta play these roles. You gotta think a certain way. You gotta act a certain way. But you're just acting, right? What it is that you, depending on what you want to clarify or classify, rather, what you are, which 3, 4, maybe even 5 videos I've talked about who are you, so I explain who you are. Because if you take away the pretend and you turn it into just you will find out who you are. You got to get the pretend out of there. What TV shows you like, out of there. Your hobbies, get that out of there. What women you like, out of here. What clothes you wear, out of here. What rap music you listen to, or whatever. Get that shit out of here, because that's not who you are. That is totally not who you are. Your job isn't who you are. So you got to pretend to fill the shoes of that in which that you want to portray to others. So you're playing a role. You are acting. So going to what I feel about nowadays of why there's a culprit for this modern age pretend. Now, nowadays you kind of like look at like doctors without even knowing who they are and already have a feeling of who they are, right? What they're going to say to you, how they're going to portray, how they're going to act, their mannerisms. They are set in your mind as a certain way. Like, they're going to know better. Police are going to write you a ticket. You already have these prejudged things in you, and the person that's filling the shoes of that whoever, you know, the police officer, the person who's filling those shoes have to pretend to be that every time, pretty much, because that's why you have these notions in your mind. Now, when you see things like Law and Order on television, this becomes in people's minds, even though it's all fucking fake, it's all pretend, people still believe that that is what is authentic. However, that's far from the truth. The reason why they think it's authentic is because they all have the same job. Like, they're all looking for the bad guy, and they're trying to catch the bad guy. They're looking for clues together. I don't know much about Law and Order. I haven't seen that shit in years. I don't even know if that shit's still around, if you guys even know what that is, but I remember that show. And I remember it was like Special Victims Unit. Maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, or something like that. Like, again, it might still be around. I don't know. Anyways, the point is, things like that make people perceive that that's what they're supposed to be. So, if the cop comes out of the car, we're not just looking at the power potential, right? We're not looking at the individual. We're looking at the badge as who they are. And when they jump out of that car, the squad car, and they come out, they pretend to be the cop. Do you understand that? They are not the cop. They are pretending to be the cop. Just because they got a badge does not make them a real cop, right? It doesn't make them that. That's what now they have to pretend to be to fill those shoes. Now, it's more than just police officers, doctors, It's more than this shit. Lawyers, judges, just think about just what you deal with all the time. It's everybody. It's the kid at the gas station, right? Teenage kid at the gas station, boy, long-haired boy, smokes weed when he gets off of work. It's that simple, like, this is what they have to be. And that's not who they are. It's a lot to do with everything around you being fake as it is. And then everybody around you acting fake. When you turn on the television, there's not one damn shred of realness on television. Not on the news, nothing. Not on the footage they show you. Because what they say about it is totally fake. Fake news. I just thought about that. Yeah, I forgot they call it that. But you're looking at a movie, it's all fake. Law and Order, fake. Completely fake. And when you're looking at these things all the time and everyone being fake, then that's going to mold your reality. Remember, I got a lot of new subscribers since I made a video on fantasy and where fantasy can be great for creativity and where it can be destructive, especially for children. Because when you're brought up and you believe there's fucking Santa Claus, that's going to fuck up your mind. Not to mention you're not going to trust your parents very much after that because they fucking blatantly lied to you. But there's a time and a place for fantasy. But when it's everywhere and everyone's filling the shoes of some bullshit, there's a problem. Your parents teach you how to walk and talk. The teacher teaches you how to sit down and shut up. Be a student. Learn. But you can't be yourself. You go to college. You can't be yourself. You can't be your authentic self. They're preventing this as much as possible. As much as possible, they are trying to prevent you from being you. That's why I made multiple videos constructing what you are and deconstructing what you are not. It's because it's rather important to be your authentic self. As Tupac said, they win when your soul dies. And if you can't be yourself, you're not there. You're just filling the void. You're filling the shoes to keep the matrix turning. Now, I can go on all day about this, but do you guys see? Do you guys see with your eyes? Everyone's pretending around you. Everyone is pretending to be their role. Everyone. No one's authentically trying to pull you over and put you in handcuffs and throw you into a box. Nobody's authentically trying to make donuts for a hobby and selling you donuts at Krispy Kremes. Nobody's authentically this person, right? This is make-believe, and in order to succeed in this matrix, we have to pretend. And if you are authentic in yourself, people don't want that. If Johnny Depp was to show you the real side of him, you'd be bored. Or you'd be very interested, as you should be. But the point is they want to see the character. When you go to see the doctor, you don't want him to be a different role. You want him to be the doctor. Right? Because you expect it. And it'd be very awkward for something else to happen. And you wouldn't know how to handle that because you're so used to everyone pretending that when you see somebody authentic, you might even disown them. You might not want to interact with the authentic person. When I speak what's on my mind, I don't pretend. It's sick to me. You can barely see me on that screen right now. But I don't pretend. And there's a reason for that. I'm not trying to be a specific character. I'm not a fucking poser. I don't like the ones who have to pretend. It's everyone. The fireman, the kid at the gas station, Everyone's pretending, especially in manager situations or boss situations, like you're the boss or manager. You pretend to be that person. Don't you see it? You're pretending to be this person. Hey, you, get back to work. Supervisors, everybody. You're fucking pretending. That's not you. That's not your authentic self. That's why I like trucking. I'm free to be who I am. I found my niche in the Matrix. And it is what it is. I can go on all day like this, but I didn't want the sun to go down this much where you can't even see me. But I guess it's the words that matter more than my fugly face. Alright, guys. Stay tuned for more content. Plenty more coming. Opex, I'm out. Peace. I missed it.